Have you ever felt it, that quiet, nagging feeling inside?
Mm.
The one that says you're not good enough, or maybe you're going to be found out, you're just faking it, even when, like, everyone around you seems happy with your work.
Yeah,
If
absolutely.
that sounds familiar, if that hits home for you, then listen, you are absolutely not alone. Like, really not alone. You're actually in very good company.
It's incredibly common.
Totally. So today, that's what our deep dive is all about. That exact feeling. It's often called imposter syndrome.
Or the imposter phenomenon, technically.
Right, the phenomenon. And our mission today is, well, to really unpack it, figure out what it actually is, where these feelings even come from, why it's so common even among people who seem super successful.
Hmm.
And crucially, we want to give you some concrete tools, strategies for you, the listener, to kind of navigate these feelings. And also, for managers, how they can help create workplaces where this stuff doesn't take hold quite so easily.
Yeah, the goal really is equipping you with the knowledge and maybe some practical ways to quiet that inner critic and, really thrive.
Okay, so let's dig in. What exactly are we talking about when we say imposter syndrome? I mean, at its core, it's that persistent self-doubt, right?
Yeah.
About your work, your accomplishments.
Yeah, it's that feeling of being, well, a bit of a phony, believing you don't really deserve your job or that you've somehow tricked everyone into thinking you're good at what you do.
It's funny you mentioned the original name, imposter phenomenon.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It was first identified way back in the 70s by Pauline Rose Clance and Suzanne Imes, a couple of American psychologists.
Hmm.
And what's really fascinating is their first studies were focused specifically on high-achieving women. So historically, it's kind of linked to success, but feeling inadequate despite it.
That makes sense.
Oh, and just quickly, people sometimes ask about the spelling imposter versus imposter. Both are totally fine, completely acceptable.
Good to know. So it's more than just feeling like a fraud, though. It shows up in other ways, too, right? What are some of the, common signs?
Oh, definitely. It often starts with just a general lack of confidence at work,
Yeah.
even when, all the evidence says you're doing great.
Right.
And then there's things like being really sensitive to tiny mistakes, like
Yeah.
really beating yourself up over them, or having this intense fear of, well, both success and failure, weirdly enough.
Yeah, that's a strange one.
It is. And it often drives people towards perfectionism, working way too hard, which, leads straight to burnout.
Mm-hmm.
They might chalk up successes to just luck or timing, like we said.
Mm-hmm.
They set these impossibly high standards for themselves. And sometimes they even kind of pull away, isolate themselves from the team because of that self-doubt.
Wow. So if you're listening and nodding along thinking, yep, that's me, again, you are so not alone. There was this study, right? Nearly two-thirds, think about that, 62% of knowledge workers around the world say they experience imposter syndrome.
It's staggering, really. 62%. That's not some niche thing. It's mainstream.
Totally.
And it really affects all sorts of people, different jobs, different backgrounds. It's not just the new person on the team feeling lost. Actually, counterintuitively perhaps, high achievers in more senior roles, they're often more likely to feel it.
That's wild.
It is. And it's also important to say, this isn't a formal mental health disorder listed in the DSM, the Big Diagnostic Manual.
Right.
But that doesn't mean it's not serious. Its impact on mental well-being, on how people perform at work. It's absolutely significant, undeniable.
Okay, so given how many people feel this, it probably doesn't look the same for everyone. I heard about these archetypes.
Ah, yes. Dr. Valerie Young, she's done a lot of work on this, an internationally known expert. She identified 5 main types or archetypes of imposters. And understanding which one kind of resonates with you, that can be a really powerful first step.
Okay, let's break those down. First up, the perfectionist. What's their deal?
So, the perfectionist, their main focus is on how something gets done, sometimes even more than the final result itself.
Mm.
Yeah, their internal bar is just set incredibly high. So even if they succeed, get loads of praise, they're still thinking, ooh, I could have done that part better. They're always dissecting the process, not always appreciating the win.
Sounds exhausting.
Okay.
Okay, next, the expert. What drives their feelings of inadequacy?
For the expert, it's all about what they know and how much they know. If there's even a small gap in their knowledge or they don't have an answer immediately, that can trigger intense feelings of failure or shame.
Wow.
Yeah, their self-worth is really tangled up with being knowledgeable, so any perceived gap feels like a major flaw.
Okay. Then there's the natural genius. How do they measure themselves?
The natural genius measures competence by, well, speed and ease,
Mm.
They expect to get things right on the first try. Yeah. So if they struggle, if they have to put in effort, if they don't grasp something instantly, they
Ugh,
see it as proof they just don't have that natural talent, which can be, you know, incredibly paralyzing.
I can imagine. Fourth type, the soloist. Why do they feel like they have to do it all alone?
The soloist genuinely believes that asking for help is a sign of weakness, like a fundamental flaw.
Mm.
They think they have to achieve everything entirely on their own steam. Needing assistance just undermines their whole sense of capability and independence. It's a pretty isolating way to work.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, and the last one, the superhuman. What kind of pressure are they under?
The superhuman measures their success by how many different roles or tasks they can juggle and absolutely master all at the same time.
Whoa. Okay.
So if they feel like they're dropping the ball in even one area, maybe at home or on a side project or at work, even if they're excelling everywhere else, they feel immense guilt and shame. They're constantly striving for this, like, perfect mastery across the board, which is, well, pretty much impossible.
As you're hearing these, maybe take a second. Does one of those, or maybe a mix of them, sound kind of like that voice in your head? Figuring out how this imposter stuff shows up for you personally. That's often the key first step to actually dealing with it.
Absolutely gives you something concrete to work with.
Now, statistics like that, 62% are powerful, but you know what really makes it real? Personal stories.
Mm-hmm.
And we were lucky enough to get some insights from employees at Asana. They were really brave in sharing their experiences, and it gives such a human perspective on this whole thing.
Those stories are so valuable.
Yeah. So Andrew shared this. Imposter syndrome is much more common than most people realize, and it happens at all levels. If anything, it gets worse as you become more senior and take on more responsibility.
That's such a key point. It
Yeah.
really pushes back against the idea that you sort of grow out of it.
Yeah.
For some, seniority just means, well, bigger stages for that self-doubt to play on.
Right. And Rishika offered this piece of wisdom. I know that there's a voice telling you otherwise, but hear me out. Where you're going is more important than where you came from.
Oh, I love that. Such a great reframe.
Mhm.
Focus on your potential, your trajectory, not getting bogged down by, where you started or past doubts. Future focused.
Definitely. And Jet had this great reality check. Everyone you esteem in your area of expertise once knew absolutely nothing about the subject. You'd be surprised to learn that people are generally more compassionate and open to helping you than you might expect.
Yes. It takes the mystique out of being an expert, doesn't it? Everyone starts somewhere. And often that fear of asking questions, of looking stupid, it's usually unfounded. People are often willing to help.
So true. Then another team member pointed out something about remote work. Imposter syndrome feels stronger when you aren't able to reach over and tap a coworker on the shoulder. But remember, you work in the position you do because the team believes in you.
That really resonates now, doesn't it? With hybrid and remote setups. That lack of casual, quick validation can definitely amplify the internal doubts. It highlights the importance of sort of internalizing the team's trust in you.
Yeah. Erica had a great point about unique perspectives. Your unique set of personal and professional experiences are what makes your perspective different and valuable. When you share this perspective, even if you're nervous, it helps us all get to a better answer together.
Hmm. That's about valuing diversity of thought, isn't it?
Mhm.
Sometimes the thing you're nervous about sharing, your unique angle, is exactly what the team needs to break through a problem. It fuels innovation.
Exactly. And Leah gave us this brilliant little phrase. Give yourself permission to have a growth mindset. Try using, I don't know yet.
Oh, that yet. It's so simple, but so powerful. It changes I don't know from a failure state to just a temporary state,
Yeah.
an opportunity to learn. It's all about that growth mindset.
Love it. Dave offered this really sharp insight into comparison. We compare our innermost criticized version of ourselves with everyone else's outwardly portrayed version of themselves.
Oof. Yeah, that cuts right to the heart of it. We're comparing our internal blooper reel to everyone else's highlight reel. It's an inherently unfair comparison, and it just feeds the imposter feelings.
So true. And finally, Rose shared her own story about starting at Asana. She talked about how actually sharing her insecure feelings with her team made them kind of melt away. She got so much support and encouragement back.
It's such a perfect example of vulnerability being a strength. Just voicing the fear can sometimes break its power, especially when you find out others feel similarly, or just offer support. It connects you.
These stories, they just make it so relatable. But okay, hearing is one thing. What can you actually do about it? Let's get into some strategies, like 10 proven things you, the individual, can start doing. It takes work. definitely, and self-compassion.
Absolutely, it's a process.
So, first strategy, focus on facts, not feelings, that imposter voice. It's often running on fear, not reality. There's this concept, facts versus stories.
Right, from the conscious leadership group, facts are the objective things, what a camera would record. Stories are our interpretations, our narratives about the facts.
So it's about asking, okay, what actually happened here versus the story I'm telling myself about what happened.
Exactly. And if your feeling is based on a fact, maybe you did miss a deadline. Okay, great. Now you have something concrete to work on. But if it's just a story, you use the actual facts to challenge that negative internal voice. Fight feelings with facts.
Okay, number 2, acknowledge your feelings, then let go. Don't try to just shove the self-doubt down.
No, ignoring it doesn't work. It's more about validating it. Like, okay, I'm feeling like an imposter right now, and that's okay. Acknowledge it exists. But then, if it's not based on those facts we just talked about, consciously decide to release it, to not let it drive your actions.
Andrew had that framework, right? Notice it, name it, acknowledge it.
Yeah, and then do that gut check. Is this real? Or is this just the imposter voice talking? Usually that pause helps you see it's just the self-doubt, and you can kind of move on.
Makes sense. Third, talk to